Hey everybody! All right. Hey, you know, here's something interesting. First of all, let's introduce once again my producer. You know, Walter Wannabe. He does do the bare minimum, but I don't have to pay him. But he wants me to get him on camera more. He's really been bugging me about that. Okay, you're looking at a really lonely man who talks to a stuffed bear. Okay. All right. Enough of that. So I got a gig coming up tomorrow night, like the first one in a month or something like that. And it's a place I like to play. But you know, I woke up yesterday with the sniffles and a little cough, and you know, my ears are a little stuffed. And right away I think, oh great, now I got the Omicron. So I took the test. I have a couple of home kits here, and I'm okay. So, you know, something 3 or 4 years ago, I would have never done. But I called the, kind of like the music director of this little band. I guess he'd be like the leader. So, you know, he's not the lead singer, but he's like the leader of the music of the band. And I had to tell him, like, you know, hey, the test said I'm okay. The sniffles, by Friday night I might be all right. It seems like a minor cold. If you don't want me to do the gig, I don't know what to tell you. And he said, no, I'm sure you're fine. Just, you know, maybe wear a mask when you're around people, whatever. So, you know, this is like a new thing. This is like a new part of the code, right? Because to not do that would be to be the complete asshole and maybe jeopardize people. If I did have the Omicron and I'm going to be around some idiot who thinks, you know, I don't need vaccinations, all I need is Jesus and Donald Trump. I know I'm supposed to try to not get political with this, but I can't help myself because lately they go together. Anyway, what do we have for you? Another edition of Musicians on Couches, drinking coffee with Ricky Ventura. He might not like Ricky, maybe just Rick. But he was the guitar player for one of the, you know, big heavy metal bands in the late 70s, 80s, and then they made a little comeback in the early 2000s, late 90s, and they're back again with the name of the band is Riot. You may have heard of them. They had a couple of great hits, like Swords and Tequila was one of them. Rock City was another big one. And he's going to share about a half hour, 40 minutes. We'll talk about stuff. And the band is now together called Riot Act. It's kind of got a new lineup. One of the Lou Guitarist, Kovaris. So I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it the right way, but Lou died of COVID, and they were together in on this thing, Rick and Lou, and he died a couple of years ago. COVID. He was one of the first ones. So this was a very serious thing. So if you're not taking it serious, and you're not getting vaccinated, and you think because maybe you're not overweight or you don't have comorbidities, hey man, you got to be careful with this stuff. You got to be careful with this stuff. But anyway, he's going to talk about the new band, Riot Act, and they're going to start touring. They got a new album out called Closer to the Flame, and it's a good album. It's a good album. I got to listen to pieces of it. So, and they actually re-recorded some of the old hits again as like a bonus CD with this album, and hopefully within a year, because they're backed up, you know, there's not that many vinyl producing places. We're going to get a vinyl version of this, and I like this stuff, and that's big for me. I was always a Zeppelin fan and an early Aerosmith fan, but what heavy metal later became, I'm not really that kind of a fan. I appreciate it, but this stuff I like. So here we go to, we're going to do the intro, and we're going to do a couple of clips, and then here we go to Rick Ventura.
I'm Jeff Jeff Carlson, we're WLIR-FM 92.7 in stereo, and now we go live to the stage of my father's place in the village of Old Roslyn.
Yeah, oh man, is it hot in here tonight or what? Come on! Thank you, Jeff. I'm Ray White from WLIR-FM. We are live, very live tonight, down at my father's place. I'd like you to welcome back a band. They've been touring all around the country. They've been down in Texas. They flew back especially for you and everybody at home listening. So I want you to welcome Long Island's band, and I'll tell you, any band that does a song about tequila is all right in my book. Would you please welcome electro recording artist Riot!
One more for you.
There you go. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you, man?
All right. All right. Welcome to Musicians on Couches Drinking Coffee. I got my coffee. It's not necessary. It's okay. This is actually herbal tea, so don't tell anyone. Though we'll keep it a secret. And are you the only one coming aboard today?
Yeah, just me.
It's cool. And this is we're a little silly on the show. This is my producer, Walter Wannabe.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, he does the bare minimum. Never mind. That's a silly joke. I like to say that all the time. We're kind of silly on the show. So, yeah, no, we're silly on the show. I have a sock puppet I call Sock Puppet Pesci. He's my stagehand. So,
I have a goat.
oh, all right. There you go.
Painting goat.
Yeah, I started this stupid show when the pandemic was on. I had no more gigs, and I just started the show, and I stole it from Jerry Seinfeld. He was doing comedians in cars, so I did musicians on couches.
Love it. I know. I saw that. I figured, oh, he definitely got that from Jerry.
Yeah. He hasn't sued me, so I'm okay. Anyway, so you guys have done a new album, but let's go way back because I did the research and followed. This band has had such a history, just a windy, turny, starting out as Riot. So let's go a little ways. What year did you join the band?
Let's see. That would be probably early 79, late 78, 79, when Rita was in the process of being recorded.
Right.
And then I came in, right around that time. But I was always there from the very beginning. I was friends with the guys, and so that's when I actually joined the band.
Right. What was that original lineup? Now, when you joined?
Oh, when I joined, is Mark Reali on guitar, Guy Speranza vocals, Peter Patelli drums, Jimmy Iommi bass, and Lou Guitarist on guitar. And then Lou left, and then I joined.
All right. And from what I was reading is you were really, when you came in, you had wrote a lot of songs. You were writing a lot at the time. I was reading the research. You had kind of interjected that. Is that the truth?
But Riot had a sound, and a lot of material was already written for Narita. And I contributed on just one tune we co-wrote, Waiting for the Taking. So that was the only chance I had, since most of the material was done already, contributed on that song. So it wasn't until the next album where I started to add more tunes.
Right. So when you, I'm always interested in the songwriting aspect because I write a little bit too. And when you would write with the band, would you bring sort of a finished product or bring a skeleton and let everybody kind of add their whatever they were going to do?
Well, yeah, I brought music and lyrics, and what I had to do was I had to hope that guy could interpret what I was hearing in my head, So it came from a little two different schools of musicality, I guess you would say. So sometimes a bit hard for him to put across what I was trying to hear, but eventually it worked out.
Right.
Music, we got it together. There was no issue with that.
Right.
But everything came really, especially on Fire Down, all this together real well.
Well, I went back and listened to some of that early stuff that you were on anyway, and just to be honest, in full disclosure, I was never a super heavy metal guy or into that thing. I was more into I went to Berklee College of Music, so I did a lot of theater work. Like I was doing Godspell around the country, and for the rock and roll thing, I kind of fell into the I kind of knew Max Weinberg a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I got into that whole Springsteen Jersey thing a little bit, and I really kind of dug that sound. So but I went back and listened to it, and it's really good. It wasn't what I expected it to be, and I really, especially what's that? The Swords and
Tequila.
What's the
Tequila?
Huh?
Swords and Tequila.
Yeah, Swords and Tequila. Really cool tune. I'd never heard that till now, and I grew up and very cool tune. And I noticed on the new album, you re-recorded some of that stuff, some of the old stuff. On the very new release, you have re-recorded some of the old stuff. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, it's a bonus CD with just 10 originals on close. And then we did a bonus CD for the Riot fans actually, and there's 12 tunes on there from various albums.
What made you decide to re-record old stuff? Was it just new arrangements or anything like that, or?
Oh, it came about because when this band first started, Lou Guitarist, the guitar player who we lost years ago, he had wanted to put something together with me because a few years back we were inducted into Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. It was a very surprising moment, and it really touched us. We were finally being recognized for years of hard work, and so we really just looked at each other after that and said, hey, maybe we should get together and do this. And I never played with Lou because Lou had left when I joined the band, and I'd run into him years afterwards. We were always friends with each other, and he finally coaxed me into doing it, and that's how this band started. So there was some interest in a label, and they wanted to hear some Riot stuff. Figuring, okay, here's the two guitar from the original lineup. So everybody, once they hear that, they go, okay, let's hear something, So we decided to do a 6-song EP, and then it turned into 12 songs because that's what the record company wanted. Bonus. So it's as simple as that.
Right. That's cool though. That's cool because a couple of artists now have re-released old stuff, and it's kind of interesting that guys that they go back and they redo stuff like that. I think that's cool. Did you when you re-recorded it, was it did you feel like taking a fresh take on it or anything like that, or you just kind of wanted to redo the old track?
That's the difficult decision you have to make, because the Fire Down Under album had become such a classic heavy metal album, and to touch those songs and play with them, I didn't think that was a good idea. Live, we might do that. Live we might. It's cool because when you go see a band live, I always found interesting when a band, would go off and tune. I really don't like to hear the same exact thing that's on the record, but we decided to stay true to the songs.
Right. I got to tour with a guy you might know, because I know you guys, way back when you guys toured with Kiss. That's correct, right?
Yeah, that tour happened after I left the band, actually. So I missed out on it.
Oh, on the Kiss tour. You missed out on the Kiss tour. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
The tour with Dick Wagner. You know Dick Wagner?
Oh, guitarist Dick Wagner?
Yeah. I toured with him for a while.
Sure.
Sadly, I toured with him 2 years before he left the
past. Right, yeah.
And so,
Yeah, he passed a few years ago.
Yeah, he passed 2000, late 2014, and I toured with him 2013, 2014, and then he got sick. But we used to do. I mean, he used to do all that old Alice Cooper stuff, and we used to
sure.
Crazy arrangements of it. But he had actually recorded. That's why I brought him up, only because he had. And I guess Ace Frehley admits it now that there are several bits of Ace Frehley's playing on the original Kiss albums that is not Ace Frehley, it's Dick Wagner. So
he even on Aerosmith on Train Kept a Rolling, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, that's Dick Wagner. Yeah. He was a really cool guy and a really nice guy and great to work with. And
I never met him.
I'm actually on a CD that he was recording before he passed. That's on somebody's shelf somewhere. No one will ever hear it, but I know that I'm on it. So.
I like Steve Hunter. They did that Lou Reed album. Remember? Right. Oh, yeah, they did that. And,
yeah. You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I haven't changed or done anything.
No, your mic or whatever. I don't know. It's breaking up a little bit all of a sudden. Maybe the aliens. That's okay. I edit the stuff when I can't hear.
Okay.
Let's go way back. You're from New York, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Are you still in New York now, or are you living in LA, or where you?
No. Still here on the East Coast. Yeah.
All right. I'm from Yonkers originally.
Oh yeah.
Just north of the Bronx there.
Yeah.
So what got you interested? Like, was it your parents were musical, or you just picked up a guitar in school, or like for me, it was women, girls. I was a shy kid, and that was it. It was plain and simple. I played drums in this garage band, and this little girl, Marcy, I was 13 or 14, asked to go to the mall with me. That was it. I've been a drummer ever since. Okay. So, women. So what got you into the whole bag?
Let's see. Raquel Welch.
No, all right.
When I was a little kid, I said, I want to play just like, I'll tell you, when I was a real little boy, my mom took me to see A Hard Day's Night in the theater.
Oh.
And so I must have been, 6 or something or whatever, and 7, whatever. And I'll just never forget being in a theater. I mean, it was just full of girls.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't
No, I'm not.
Oh, you are.
I'm not.
Oh, you are. I know you are.
I'm not, no.
You look just like him.
Do I? You're the first one that said that ever.
Yes, you do. Look.
No, my eyes are lighter. All right, Noddy.
Oh,
My nose.
Yes, your nose is very.
Is it?
Well, I would have said so.
Oh, you know him better, though.
I do not. He's only a casual acquaintance.
That's what you say.
What have you heard?
It's all over the place.
Is it? Is it really?
But I wouldn't have it. I stuck up for you.
I knew I could rely on you.
Thanks.
You don't look like him at all.
She looks more like him than I do.
I mean, it was just full of girls screaming. And I remember my mother just, laughing and just looking at the screen and watching the Beatles, and they just made an impression on me because, I never saw anything like that in my life. I'm a young kid, and
Right. How old were you back then? 7? Was
Around 7, because the movie came out, I think, 65. Right? So, yes, so that left an impression. But I didn't go pick up guitar till years later, till I was a teenager.
And what was the push for that? Was it somebody in your neighborhood or a family member?
Well, I started getting to I was a big radio freak. I would just listen to radio at night, and anything that was, most of the stuff AM radio then is all pop stuff. And every once in a while, you'd hear bands like Cream or Hendrix, and I'm going, wow, this is just so left field from this pop radio. They play the hits. Purple Haze or something. So I'm going, what is this? So I tuned into the real heavier stuff, and I started getting into that. And then my grandparents had given me an acoustic guitar in the early teens. That's probably where it started. Yeah. And then I got, through older friends that were really into music, and I just started to really get into guitar players. That's what really turned me on.
Well, who were your biggies back then? More. Who were your guys?
Well, I have to say, Clapton had to be the first, because I just gravitated to blues guitarists. There was just something about the tone, that style of playing. Clapton's tone and his style from early Cream and before that Blues Breakers. I started to get into those albums and just listen to that. And then it's funny, after that you start learning about his roots, and then I would start listening to Buddy Guy,
right,
and Freddie King, and you go, oh my God. Here's Clapton's licks, so he kind of,
right.
And I'm just a teenager, and so it's like, it was so fascinating. I remember picking up a Buddy Guy album and just being blown away by it. And so those are the guys. I loved Hendrix, because I'll tell you, the first time I was still very young, and he had passed in '70, so. I think the following year they had a movie, Jimi Hendrix, I don't know if it was Berkeley or whatever, but it was in the Village. They played in the Village, I think the Waverly. And I went there, my friends, and I saw Hendrix, and he just blew me away, because it was like he was just from another planet.
Right.
Just handled his guitar, tone, and he was like magical to me, so I really got into him. And I actually bought a Stratocaster, I think. I saved every penny I had and bought a white Stratocaster. I don't play like him at all, but Blackmore, there's so many. I mean, there's so many great guitarists at their period.
Yeah. And everybody has a uniqueness in some way.
Yes.
I'm always surprised. And now I've done a bunch of these interviews, from Mark Farner from Grand Funk to Carmine Appice. We had Carmine on, and how much the Beatles have started. Like, I'm
sure
amazed, and like myself included. In 1964, I remember to this day, and I'm told by my dad, I had seen them on Ed Sullivan, and I did. My dad, I was about 5 years old, and I went into the kitchen. I grabbed a pot and 2 wooden spoons. Like, my head went right to Ringo, right? I didn't see the rest of the band, and I'm playing "She Loves You, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah" on the pot in front of and that was it, And then at 9, 10 years old, my dad got me some lessons, and then obviously it stayed with me. But I'm surprised that those 4 guys have started so much music.
Yeah, there's such an impact on everything.
Yeah. I mean, they changed the way people thought and write, and their experimental stage, and how many people have been on this show. Carmine, the list goes on. Sandy Gennaro, people, guitar players who have said, well, it was the Beatles.
Right.
even recently had Cavalieri, the main songwriter for the Young Rascals, and his mention was the Beatles really, irked him up to get going. So it's so cool. I'm so they're special. They're definitely like a special.
Oh no question about it. I mean, one of my favorite bands growing up. In fact, the first record I bought was Rubber Soul.
Oh, I love Rubber Soul.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I took the stimulus check and I bought a high-end turntable. I'm one of those people now that have a high-end turntable. We say table. We don't say record player anymore. We don't say. And anyway, one of the first records, vinyl I rebought was Sgt. Pepper.
Oh, cool.
When you sit with the stereo just loud.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
It's just an amazing thing. And you say, I don't think I got it this way when I was 7. I don't think I figured this out when it was 7, but this is what it is when I'm now, 59, going to be 60 in 6 weeks. Okay. All right. Yeah. But I don't feel a day over 59 and a half. So it's pretty good.
I know rock and roll keeps you young. I still think I still think I'm 19.
Yeah. Well, I think in our head, we still see ourselves as playing when I was in my 20s, playing around with Godspell and stuff like that.
Wow, cool.
So then you were in New York and you were playing guitar. Did you play with the local bands? Did you start playing the local clubs and all that kind of stuff, or what happened?
Yeah, in my late teens, you go through a period where you just, I think you just like lock yourself away and just practice and get your whole thing together. You try to down your image together and the whole bit. And I started playing with friends of mine. We got together with some guys, a member in New Jersey, and the drummer, my friend, we used to travel to Jersey and play in a cover band. And we were like 18, and we played the Jersey. And we would do Led Zeppelin, those kind of covers, So that was probably the first real band, and going out there and playing, really just honing in on your style and sound. And I was always around rock. Came time for them to get another guitar player. I was like the logical choice because I was friends with them and we fit in so perfectly. I knew all the material and everything about. So it just fell into place then. But that's how it really came about.
All right. When does the songwriting start coming in? A little bit later, you decide maybe let me try my hand at what the Beatles did. What was the inspiration?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We finally had a lineup, the right combination of people. We all had our heads in the same place, and we just it just gelled on that album. And so I just had a number of tunes, and I just contributed a few of them, and they made it on the album, and they started to do more in the next album, Restless Breed. So Guy and Mark, the guitar player and singer, they were the principal writers for Riot. So they were the writing team. So they were, and I would, it's weird because you feel like you're a bit of an outsider. I had a little different style. So I guess that's what made that album, because it's got a little different feel, my songs. So that's how I started contributing, so I always had a lot of materials, and I only get a few songs on each album. Right, and now we're Closer to the Flame, that's essentially where it's like, all these ideas I've had for all the years really come to fruition now on this album. I'm so excited about that. Right.
And that's the name of the new album. We're going to get to that, but I want to mention one more thing from the past, though. The Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. I read something about that. So you were there for that. Now, did you get to go there with the old lineup, or was some of the new lineup, or what was that?
Some of the, combination. Yeah. Lou Guitarist and myself, and so I think two of the guys from Riot 5 who continued. It's a long story, but after Mark had passed away, Mark Reale, he continued Riot, and when he passed away, they continued the band, but they called it Riot 5. So two of them were inducted, and so we were all there at the ceremony, and that's really how this all started. What lit the fire, I guess, under Lou and I after that ceremony.
When did that happen? When were you inducted to the
2019, if I'm not mistaken.
2019? So and that's when Riot Act happens, which is the new band, right? That's when it started.
It started after that. Lou and I got together. We started trying to figure out, all right, who's going to be in this band? I was playing with the current drummer and bass player, Paul and Claudio, and I said, hey, I'm playing with these guys. They're really good. Let's try it out. So we got together at my place and played so many old songs, and it just sounded really good. I had never played, so it was just a thrill. Our guitar style is very similar, and we just nailed the material. It just came right back to us. That's how it came together.
Well, I was listening to some of Closer to the Flame. It's a good album. I'm going to put, the way I do this is I put a whole bunch of clips. Whatever I can find on YouTube, I throw clips in there. And so that's why I put little commercials for my shirts and stuff for Musicians on Couches, because YouTube copyright claims me all the time. So it doesn't matter. I don't pay for the videos. I get paid by somebody buying my shirts. But I want to make sure I shout out to the guys, right? And make sure I mention everybody. You got, and I say their names right. Don Chaffin is vocals, right?
Yeah, Don Chafin.
Paul Ranieri, bass. Ranieri.
Yep.
Claudio Galinski.
Very good.
You, Rick Ventura on guitar. And so you put it together. So what happens before you do the album? You start doing some shows. You like it, or where did you start playing? Was it clubs? The club scene, or did you theater?
No, this all started. It's after, in 2020, we were invited back to the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame to actually perform. So we started to rehearse, and we were allowed to do 2 tunes. So we picked 2 Riot songs because we didn't have any originals yet. The band was so new, So we did 2 songs. We rehearsed, went out there, and I thought we were really good. In fact, you can see that on Amazon Prime if anybody wants to go out there and check it out. So buy it on Amazon Prime, the Heavy Metal Award show. And that was the only time we played, because 2 months after that, the pandemic hit. Right. And Lou passed away 2 years this month.
Oh, wow.
Hey, yeah. So it was, everything was going so good. We were so excited. And then the brakes went on, and we were just devastated. I was so shocked, because I've known him for so many years. And so many members of Riot pass away. Lost our singer Guy years ago. Red, our second singer, we lost him. And then Mark Reale, guitar player, 5 or 6 years ago, even more, passed away. So it was like, wow, now Lou passed away. So it was really, really disturbing. So we didn't know what we were going to do now, because the whole concept was, Lou and I playing together. That was the whole thing, right? 2 of the original guys from Riot, and what we're going to do. I was really hesitant about I was just saying, man, maybe this is just not meant to be. And that was going through quite a while. And after a number of months, we all got together and spoke. and we said, everybody wanted to play. Deep inside, I wanted to play. I had so much material. I wanted to get out there. After all these years, I was finally get music recorded. So I didn't want to lose that and stop that. So we started writing originals. I sent a lot of material to Don, our vocalist, and we worked remotely because it was right in the heart of the pandemic. And so I would do a lot of ideas. I put demos together on my computer, send them out to the guys, send them to Don. Everything Don doesn't. He liked everything I sent. He goes, "Oh man, I have something great for this. Oh, can't wait to hear it." And every once in a while, three of us musically, we get together and play just to try the ideas out, But we never heard what Don, like always a mystery, because he would never give us like a little hint of like what he was doing. So it's like we had, but then we finally got, and we did Wanted, which was the first single and video that was released at the end of last year. So that was the first song that really captures what the band is about, the energy of the band and the style. That's why I released that as the first single. And then the 10 songs, they just, everything just started coming out. There was just so much, it was like, okay, let's move on. Next song. It was just like, wow.
So when is the release date of the album? Or is it out now? Can we buy it?
You pre-order it now. I didn't say.
What's the official release date?
The States, it's April 15th.
April 15th. Oh, tax day. Good day for the album to come out. And what tours you got? How's the tour starting? What do you got lined up?
Finally, things are opening up in Europe. So in August, we'll be hitting England with the Lillian Axe, and then we'll be going to Spain also. So far, that's definite. And now we're hearing there's some talks for dates in the States, hopefully into September, early October. So we're really excited about that because we haven't played since that show.
Right. Then the pandemic hit a few years after that. And so like as a musician, I don't know how, but you felt during the pandemic and after you lost your partner, a little lost. Like I realized how much my identity, who I am, is in playing. Like I like doing the channel. I like interviewing folks. I like all that. I like teaching. I teach a lot over Zoom and instructional personal, but playing out. So I think I'm going to be moving to Nashville just to see what's happening. There's more people to interview. I think I'm going to just relocate and kind of get a fresh start. But I want to talk about, we talked about this with Felix too, just the psyche of going through that time where nothing's going on. And I wondered, maybe it's just time to put it down. Maybe it's over. Maybe that's it. The pandemic hit, career's done. And maybe I should just, go be a Walmart greeter or something. I don't know.
Work at a fast food place. Can I take your order, please? I'll tell you, during the pandemic and after Lou died, I don't think I picked up my guitar to write stuff, but I was playing every weekend. I would go play, with somebody, friends, whatever, the little group we had together just to do some gigs, but then I didn't play. And I went through a period where I didn't even pick up the guitar, for quite a while. And like I said, I haven't played a gig in 2 years, and that's like that hasn't happened in 10 years. It's like
right.
It really freaked me out. I there was points I didn't tired. Yes, there was a lot of personal stuff that was going on top of the pandemic. I had lost a few close friends of mine during that period. So it was a really bad period for me. I lost like three or four close people during that period.
Due to COVID or something else?
No, Lou was due to COVID, other diseases, unfortunately. So it was a really very bad period for me. Luckily, we had the Riot Act. That was the only inspiration that, because we had to have that happening. So I would just try to focus and get into that mode again, where it's like, okay, I have new bands here, we got to write, and I would get focused, and ideas would just come out, or I complete half written ideas, because I knew do it. We had to do it. We had just got a record deal, so everything started to come back to life. But I still can't wait to play live. Can't even remember what that's like.
Right.
I turned into this guy that does projects around the house. What am I going to? I think I painted my basement one day during the pandemic, because I was trapped in the house. There was like nobody in the streets. I remember looking down like highways. It was like, wow, there's no cars. It was like everybody was in.
I turned my bedroom. Half of my bedroom's got my bed. The other half is now a studio. I do drum covers on the channel when I'm really bored. So the last night I did some Genesis tunes. Like, that's how I got a camera here. Like, so like last weekend was the first weekend I played with there's a big blues diva around here named Tasha Owens. I'll probably put a clip of her in here too. We did a sold out show up north a little bit, and it was nice. And that wasn't a huge place. It was a little nightclub, probably about 100 people in there, but it was sold out. Got a standing O at the end. So it was like, oh yeah, this is why I do this. Yeah, this is what it feels like to be out and play and hit these things and get the accolade back. Yeah, all right, I think I'll do it again. That was good. 1, 2, 3.
You stay out all night, break of day, stand me up with everything I say. Little by little, said I'm losing it. Yeah, this or this, your love is away from me.
That was good. So,
Wow.
and that wasn't the first. I had played a little bit over the last year, but this past weekend it was really a full weekend. But then I have like nothing booked till April, where I used to be booked every other at least 3-4 days a week. 6 months in advance. Now that's gone. So, but it will come back. It will come back for you, for me, for all of us. It's going to come back.
I know plenty of people like that. So that's why it's really people. Especially musicians. Backstage, and get out there and play and just feel somewhat safe, so yeah.
Anyway, that's really good though. It's good. So what's the first date booked in Europe? What's the first actual date on the calendar?
I think it's August 22nd, if I'm not mistaken.
22nd?
Yeah, if anybody wants to check it out, I'll tell you, I'll give a plug to our website, riotactband.com.
Yes, and I'll link to it in the description when
Okay.
I get this out. It takes me about 2 days to do the editing and get everything in there. So you're releasing it on Closer to Flame is the name of the album. You're releasing it on CD. It'll be MP3 downloadable, all that. Or you're going to release a vinyl version of it for us audiophiles.
Yeah, well, I'm an audiophile too, so we can talk about that later. Decades I've been in that. Oh boy, I could tell you stories of equipment. Yeah, vinyl. What I understand now, going on at least for the past year or something, you want to put out vinyl now, it's going to take 8 months to a year to get it happening.
I heard that. I heard Adele's taking most of it right now.
Yeah, so that's I definitely want to do that. Colored vinyl or something like that, because
yeah. Anyway, well, I was just saying the act of listening to a record where you stop your day and you put the record on and you listen, you know what I mean? It's different than just streaming on the phone. It's not the same act.
Yeah, and you get to experience what an album, it's a collection of tunes that go in order,
Yeah.
concept to it, so that's kind of lost. But thankfully in the last number of years, vinyl has a resurgence, and even younger people. I know my friends' kids, they have turntables now, so that's cool.
Yeah. I bought a Fluence actually. I have the one of the Fluence turntables. Not nice turntable. Yeah, the RT85. Nice job. Oh, hopefully they'll advertise on my channel. So, all right, Mr. Fluence. So are you going to continue? Will there be more albums and more touring, or is this like a one-shot deal? Or
no, we're gonna start working on new material probably in a few months. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
working on this new video that'll be out first week of April actually. So we'll have a new video, and between now and August, we'll go into rehearsals, but we're gonna recording new materials. Yeah, because I have just so many ideas that I've accumulated, over the years and currently, that I just want to get it all out there. So there's going to be a second album.
Right.
I can't wait to start doing that. Yeah. So this is going to be something that'll go on hopefully for a few years.
Well, let me tell you. I thought when I listened to the older stuff, and some reminded me a little bit of Def Leppard, and I thought that was pretty cool. It had a really good sound, and I want to say this straight up, for those people who, when they hear heavy metal in their head, they think speed metal or that kind of stuff. This is not that.
Right.
This is not that. This is somewhere in between Aerosmith and Def Leppard and that kind of thing. And so this is something that even myself, who's not really like the real heavy metal guy, I'll buy this album. I'll buy the album because I liked it. I mean,
Cool.
You had melody, you had harmony. I mean, you had rhythm going on. You had hits going on. It wasn't just, for me, heavy metal sometimes gets over the top with just a lot of lick playing, and that's what I don't like about some heavy metal. But
yeah, there's so many.
Not that.
Yeah, there's so many. Riot was really, originally a really hard rock band, and we came about right on the cusp of the new wave of British heavy metal.
Right.
And metal evolves. It continues to evolve.
Right.
A lot of different areas, but the school I come from, really hard driving rock, hard rock.
Right. Yeah. Very much along that early Aerosmith line where they were just driving the hard rock, that kind of thing. But it was still melodic. There was still melody going on.
Yeah, that's the key. Like if you listen to, all the songs, they're not long, they're not dragged out. They flow really nice, and they're memorable. And the album, before you know it, and songs just went by you, and you want to hear it again. So, and that's what Riot was about too. We had just memorable choruses and hooks and good playing. So yeah, that's what we're all about.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll stay in touch. I'll get your email address. And
okay.
When you're coming around wherever I'm going to be, because I'm in Michigan right now, and I may end up moving to the Nashville area, only because there's more work there, and I got some folks that have studios down there I can play in, and I'm
nice
for the playing.
But
I'll definitely come check out Riot Act.
Yeah, please.
I did a thing with the Moody Blues where when they opened up their tour. We went musicians on coffee and musicians on couches and my staff. Of course, I'm the only one in the staff right now. We went backstage and did an interview backstage, and I'll do one with you guys if you're nearby.
Yeah. I don't even have coffee, and I drink coffee constantly, and I don't even have a cup with me.
Yeah, we don't follow the rule. This is herbal tea. This is chamomile. So I don't know. I'm going to be 60. I can only have 1 cup a day of coffee. So
I start with like 2 or 3 cups.
I do. It's so terrible. I do 1 cup of real coffee, and then I have decaf the rest of the day. So
I'm doing that too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm doing that too.
If I have too much caffeinated, I'm up to like 3 a.m. and then I can't get to sleep. And I'm a big workout guy in the morning. So that's how I keep my girlish figure. All right. Anyway, I know it's really stupid. We're silly on this show. But thanks a lot for coming on this little show. And I'm going to edit it up. I'll send a copy to John as soon as it's all done. And have as many clips as I can fit in. And we'll link it to your site. And we'll get some pictures of the band in there.
Okay.
I'll probably throw a clip because I did watch part of that clip from the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
Who was the drummer on that?
that's Claudio Glenn.
That's
yeah.
Claudio too. Okay. I want to get. And Paul was on that too.
Paul's on it too. Yeah, Lou's on there. No, that was the band. So
All right. And the only one who isn't with us anymore. And did Lou get hit by COVID or did he get hit by something else?
fortunately, he did one of the first.
Oh, it's sad.
Tell me about it.
It took a lot of people. It took a lot of people. It really.
Yeah, a lot of from the area, really. It's just I don't want to go through that again, and let's hope.
2022, your tour starts. You're going to have a good tour, and
yeah, excited.
This will be my first Riot album I'm going to buy, but I'm waiting for it to come out. But I'm waiting for the vinyl. I'm waiting for the vinyl because that's what I do now.
I hear you.
Good to meet you, Rick, and thanks for coming on.
Hey everyone, Riot Act here. On my left we have Mr. Paul Ranieri. On my right we have Mr. Claudio Galinsky, our singer, Mr. Don Chaffin, and my partner in crime, Mr. Rick Ventura. Together we're Riot Act.
And that's Guitarist.
Thank you so much, Rick.
You're welcome.